We are going to chat about employee benefits today, just on a high level, start the conversation of these things. If you are new to this, my name is Jen Shaw, and I am the owner and founder of All Accounting. And we really specialize in small and mid-sized companies ranging from 500,000 to around 8 million in revenue. And we really love to help them with their books, help them with their finances, figure out what's happening within their numbers on a weekly, monthly, annual basis, just understanding what is going on. Because we really feel that when you know your numbers, you can own your future. So we like to take each week a little bit of time to kind of deep dive into topics that we hear our clients kind of talking about, and just bring light to some things to maybe help you understand what's going on in your business. So, without further ado, let's continue. All right. So, the first thing that we really want to look at when we are hiring people, and let's actually back up. So the conversation today is about employee benefits, and a lot of times when we are hiring employees, we're mostly talking about wages, but there's a lot of other factors in cost for the business and benefits for the employee that we really want to look at in when we're hiring people, because it's looking at retaining someone and making sure that they aren't turning over. So the more offers that we can give someone for an employee, the longer they will potentially love the company that you're with, that they're with, and will continue to be with you. But when we hire these people, we want to make sure that we are able to have these expenses paid for. So wages are kind of a no-brainer. Yes, you are allowed to have these. Payroll taxes, of course, yes, you can deduct these as well. And we're going to explore maybe what other things are thought about. So when we think about employee benefits, we first want to see, is it ordinary, necessary, reasonable, and is it actually tied to the company? We want to look at these different things because this is going to substantiate being able to write it off or deduct it as a tax benefit for the business. And then what type of benefit is it? Is it a wage? Is it a fringe benefit? Is it a reimbursement from the employee? Is it rent, or is it an owner pay? And then we also look at our employee tax result. Is it taxable for the employer or the employee? Can we exclude some of it? Or is it one of those in between that's partially? And then the best piece, and the most, not the most important, but ensuring that you have documentation to back all of this up so that when and if you ever are audited, that you have information ready to provide and saying, yes, this substantiates why we do this. You have a written plan, a written policy, a lease, you have receipts that basically are all of the payroll support in why you have created this expense in the company and why you are asking and using it as a deduction. Okay, so common ones you will see, these are usually clean deductions when they are reasonable and properly reported. These are going to be wages and bonuses. That's going to be your number one that you have with people. So as long as the compensation is reasonable, this especially comes into play with like S corporations when an owner is receiving benefit as a employee. You do have to make sure that you are reasonably paying someone, so you're not underpaying them or overpaying them, but you're looking at the market where you are, what the tasks and job requirements are of that position, and ensuring that you're paying them appropriately. Employer payroll taxes, we talked about that. We have Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, and other items. And some of that is paid by the employee, but some is also covered by the employer. And then health insurance, HSA accounts, FSA. So these are going to be typically deductible plans as long as they are established and documented and administered correctly. I'll give you a shout out and we will put a link in this. Our preferred provider is Gusto, and they really help kind of streamline the onboarding process, making sure that you're ticking off all of the boxes appropriately for your HR department. It's really a seamless platform, so shout out to Gusto. We do love them. We'll provide a link for you. Okay. Also, common ones that you'll typically see are retirement contributions. So if you're a smaller company, this will look like simple, like 401ks, a simpler SEP, and profit sharing contributions. These are typically deductible, and but they do have some plan benefits, like each year they're reassessed for where they're at. So you'll just have to kind of look at a table and see where they are currently. Education and training. This is great, making sure that your employees stay up to date with current things that are going on in their business. You can, in fact, help them provide that for them, and it should be deductible for you as well. And then accountable reimbursements. So this is employee business expenses can be tax-free when the business purpose are receipts and documented. So, sorry, this is actually, reimbursable. So if someone goes out and they need a tool for the job, you can reimburse them for that. Or for mileage, that's a very common one if the person is using their vehicle. Of course, the owners, they have more benefit in being able to write off vehicles, but employees, you would give them the typical IRS deduction for that year. Some benefits that may need some extra care and thought about and aren't typical for every standard job. So these are going to potentially be gifts and awards. So we want to be mindful that any cash or gift card actually should be reported as wages. So just be very mindful of giving those out. Birthday cards, celebrations, those are actually going to be reported on W-2. If you give some sort of award, there are dollar amounts. If it's branded, the dollar amount is higher than if it is non-branded. And of course, these numbers are always changing, so I'm not giving specific ones here. Meals and snacks, those have changed drastically starting in February 26. So just be mindful that this is now more going to be for those big parties, company parties that you may have, or company get-togethers. This is not your, if you're out on the job site and you're providing a meal for them because you want to make sure that they're staying at the job site, those actually are no longer deductible for the business. So just be mindful of that piece. Transportation. If it's not just the mileage that you're doing, but perhaps they need to have parking or transit, if you're writing a bus system, there's all these different programs that are allowed and deductible. Life insurance, you can get group insurance here, and then housing as well. So it just really depends on what your company is offering and what you want to provide. But each of them have their little nuances of different thresholds. So it is just best in your case scenario to talk to someone and explore more before you just say, yeah, I can go ahead and write that off, because things are always ever changing. When in doubt, pause, classify, document, and then decide how the payroll treatment should go. All right, guys, simple and easy. I hope that this gave you some nuggets to think about and really look into implementing either within your structure that you currently have, or perhaps it is you're going to be hiring soon. So just putting thoughts of what you might think about to entice someone to bring onto the team. If you have more questions though, feel free to reach out to us, help@allaccountingllc.com, and our number is down there. We really would love to see and hear about what you have going on in your business. We are looking for more clients, so yeah, very excited to just continue this journey with you. I hope you have a great weekend and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.